16 you have that moment, right? And then at 19 you start talking about the universal call to holiness, and then somewhere around there, I don't know the age, you saw the response of people to the universal call to holiness and how it wasn't resonating, and eyes are glazing over, and you move to the best version of yourself, and eyes start lighting up, and you start communicating this journey of becoming a better version of yourself every day, um, as a part of this call to talk to people about the universal call to holiness and all of the fruit that's been born from that. I mean, you can't go anywhere now without hearing someone saying something that refers to becoming a better version of yourself. And then now, after 30 years of ministry and thinking about it, you have a definition for, this holy moment. It feels like a full culmination in that way to me. Does it feel like that to you?
Yeah, it's interesting. Because that's a really profound insight, I think, into how things have unfolded over the past 30 years. But I thought, hey, universal call to holiness, that's a simple concept. Everyone is called to holiness. Um, and holiness is becoming all God created you to be. That felt simple and complete to me 30 years ago,
Mm.
me as a 15-year-old. Um, it was life-changing. I go out on the road at 19 and I realized, okay, people don't get it. Now they don't get it because they didn't get to sit down with a spiritual mentor and have coffee and play basketball and ask stupid questions and resist God and have someone patiently watch you resist God um, and continue to encourage you and inspire you and educate you. They didn't have that, so that's okay. Um, but the evolution of that into, and not even evolution, but the presentation of that as God has a dream for you. He wants you to become the best version of yourself. Um, I think was, the Holy Spirit at work was inspiration. But then I would have thought that was complete. I would have thought that was simple enough. I would have thought, okay, that makes sense. People
Mm.
get that, and certainly they have. But I think that this piece is that the last piece I don't know um, is the how. It is the real how. I think people say, "Oh, okay, become a better version of myself." So, if I exercise, I become a better version of myself, and if I eat foods that really fuel and nourish me, I become a better version of myself, and if I take care of myself by sleeping, um, I become a better version of myself. There's lots of ways I can relate with people in my life. Relationships help me become a better version of myself. If I learn new things, if I read great books, if I feed my mind, I become a better version of myself. Um, and then spiritually, silence, solitude, scriptures, sacraments, they help me become the best version of myself. We know all of these things. We've talked about all of these things over the past 30 years. I've written about all of these things. But the real DNA of how we approach these things is holy moments. Because like if we go a little further into like the definition, um, a holy moment is a single moment in which you open yourself to God. You open yourself to God. I mean, and that it reads simple, but that's a cosmic shift
Mm.
in the spiritual life of a person, right? And it's not a one-time thing for you or me. Um, I I did it when I was 15, you know, probably for the first time with great intentionality in my life. But I have to do it every day. I have to do it many, many times a day. And there are moments in the day when I do exactly the opposite. I close myself to God. Now, I don't say to myself, all right, I'm going to close myself to God now and do this or say this or be this. But my actions are actions that close myself to God. Um, So it's that it is simple, but as you get into it, I mean, we could talk for an hour on each collection of words here, each phrase, each concept.